Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Hey, so I just wanted to do a shorter video today to show you a couple of tools that I haven't really used a lot in my videos that I've been posting to YouTube and to Facebook. So just mix it up a little bit today, and then next time I'll go back to the regular format for strength training. So the things I wanted to show you are a couple of different bands. So we have this kind of a band, which is a squat band. Okay, you may or may not have seen people using these. And then the other one is just a loop band. And both of these come in different thicknesses and different difficulties. The green, for example, is kind of a light one. They come in red and blue and so on. And these also come in different diameters, so different difficulties on that. These are both available online to buy pretty easily if you do decide you want to do this. The majority of what I'm going to be showing you today is going to be lower body, but I'm also going to show you an upper body option with this. So this is the most commonly used one, so I'm going to go ahead and start with this. And there's a few different things that you can do with this. The things I like to do the most with this loop band is involving exercising the glute stabilizer. So this is the outer part of the glute, which is really important anytime you are standing on one leg. It's going to help you even when you're walking, hiking, climbing. A lot of people have weakness in the glute stabilizers, which is the outer and upper part of the glute, not the big part, but it's going to help that too. So let's go ahead and start with a couple of things with this. Now, feel free, if you're not okay with getting down on the floor, you can sit in a chair and put this on. So I'm going to start by putting it around my ankles. And forgive me because I don't have as much room to move side to side here as I would like. Okay, so it's around your ankles. You want to make sure that it's flattened out. It's not digging into your skin, all right? We're going to start with just a side step. So what this is going to do, again, is working those stabilizers. So when you do this exercise, you're going to bend your knees. That's the first thing. And then you're going to just be traveling to the side. Now, I know that I've done this a lot in my videos, especially with cardio. But with the resistance, I'm going to go off screen here, so I'm going to come back. With the resistance, you're really focusing here. And what I want you to do when you do this is make sure that you are using the outer glute, outer thigh, and not just leading with your foot, okay? You don't want to lead with your foot. You want to be thinking about these muscles here. Now again, you could do 10, 12, 15 in each direction. And notice that my second foot, I'm not dragging it, and I'm not stepping all the way back in either. You want to keep tension on the band. So, great big step, as wide as you can. And then again, there are different thicknesses. It might not look different, but if you try a red or a blue, it's going to be harder. So try some different ones. Usually these will come in a set with all the different colors, so you can try different ones and find the one that's right for you. Now another one I'm going to do is a monster walk. So we're going to start in the same position, but this time instead of traveling side to side, we're moving on the diagonal. So you're going to do a step forward on the diagonal and a step forward on the diagonal. Now again, because I don't want to go off camera too much, I'm going to go ahead and go back. This is an option also to do it in reverse. This is a little bit more challenging for the balance. So if you want to just do forward, do forward. And again, it's a diagonal movement. So you're stepping off at an angle, keeping the knees bent. This is going to add the quads as well as the outer glutes, okay? So again, if you have space, you can do as many of these as you can manage, all right? So you could do 10, 20, 30, until you're really feeling the legs working there. All right, so the other thing that I want to do with this one is going to be actually an upper body movement. So like I said, usually these kind of bands we're doing lower body exercises, but I got a little creative during the quarantine because I was getting bored with what I had at home. So another thing that you can do with this, standing or seated, it's up to you, is go ahead and grab it and then pull it apart. So if you think of like a lat pull down machine at the gym, you're going to do a very similar movement to that. All right, so you're going to start with the band up overhead. Make sure you're engaging through your core. Don't arch your back, nice and tall, and then you're going to just pull the band apart. And this is literally called band pull aparts. So you're going to feel some lats, some shoulders, some arms, maybe some chest. So it's harder than it looks. You might want to start with the lightest one and work up from there. Again, you can do this seated or standing. All you're doing is just pulling the band apart and pulling it down towards you. All right, very good. Okay, I'm going to take a quick hydration break, and then I'm going to move on to the second band, which is the squat band. And of course, as always, please remember to stay hydrated. Make sure you have a nice clear workout space. No tripping hazards, all that good stuff. All right, so this guy, again, this comes in different diameters, different challenge levels. This one's going to go above the knees. Now with the other band, I just showed you a couple of exercises with that. There are other exercises that can be done with that one, but I want to have time to show you this as well. So again, you can do it sitting in a chair. You can put it on sitting in a chair if you don't want to come down to the floor. You never have to come down to the floor just to put it on and take it off. All right, so the thing about the squat band is if you've never used one before, the first thing you're going to notice is that it's going to make your knees fall in like that. All right, so the first thing is just really pressing back against the band. We don't want that drop in. We want to keep pressing out. So if you've never used it before, this is going to feel pretty intense, okay? So that's the very first thing. Now, step out to about shoulder width apart. First thing is a squat, all right? So you're doing your squat just like you would normally do, but with the addition of this band, we're getting a lot right here. We turn to the side. We're getting a lot through the outer thigh, but otherwise our squat form stays the same. So you're sitting back in the heels, squeezing the glutes, use the glute max as well. All right, but you've got that extra intensity there. Good. Let's do one more of those. So again, these, you can do as many as you want to, or as many as you're able to do. As far as the range of motion, it's just like a squat without the band. You go as low as you're able to do without causing pain in your knees. So if you need to do a partial range of motion, that's okay too. All right, and then again, we can do those same two exercises as we did with the loop band around the ankles. So we can do the side step. I'll just show you very quickly since we've already gone over this one. All right, knees always stay bent through the whole thing. And then you can also do the monster walk. I kind of like doing the monster walk with the squat band, but it's up to you. Again, option to do it backwards. Okay. This one is always going to be above the knees. All right, so, and one more thing I want to show you is going to be down on the floor with this guy. If you don't feel okay with coming down to the floor, skip this one altogether. All right, this is a little variation. A lot of people have gone to physical therapy. You've done clamshells, you've done side leg lifts. They are all working on the same area. This is just a different option, okay? So I still have my band above the knees. This is a fire hydrant. So you're gonna start on hands and knees and just do a little lift out to the side. Try not to rotate, just lift. Now, it's going to be harder than you think it will. So if you are feeling like this is really crazy, this absolutely can be done without the band. Let me show you the other side. This absolutely can be done with just body weight, no extra resistance, to kind of get used to the movement. And then as soon as it feels too easy, go ahead and add the band in there, because that band is going to create a lot of tension, and you're not going to get as much range of motion as you would just doing body weight. All right, so again, this is a variation on doing the clamshells, the side leg lifts. We're all working on this area. This is what we're focusing on with these exercises, all right? So that is all for that one, and then let me briefly finish with a stretch for you, because if you've been doing those exercises, now you've done a lot of work in this outer glute area. So if you're not familiar with the figure 4 stretch from my other videos, this is something that you can do sitting in a chair. A lot of people like to do it sitting in a chair for the most stability. You can also do it down on the mat. So since I don't have my chair here, I'm going to go ahead and do it down on the mat. So what you're going to do is bring one foot up over the other knee. Now, depending on what your flexibility is, you can start bringing the other leg in towards your body. As soon as you do that, you're going to feel a strong stretch right here. Again, seated option is just as good, so feel free to do this in a chair. All you're trying to do is get this foot up onto the other knee. If you cannot do that, the modification when you're seated is just across the ankles. That's going to be less stress on the hip joint if you have any hip joint problems, if you've had surgery, hip replacement, that kind of thing. You can do the modification where you just sit in the chair, cross the ankles, and lean forward. So same thing on the other side. Be sure that you do both sides, even if you have one side that's more painful than the other or one side that's more tight than the other. It's still important to do both sides. So foot up on the knee, and then the other knee comes in. Again, you can choose how far you bring it in depending on how tight you are here. All right, so I'm going to bring this knee in a little bit further, but if that's too much for you, go ahead and release it out. All right, we want a nice stretch there, but we don't want it to be super painful. We don't want it to be really uncomfortable. It should just feel like a good stretch, okay? All right, so that's the stretch for that outer glute area, that piriformis, and all of those small muscles in there, the stabilizer muscles. Of course, there's always the option, if you have problems with that, to do either self-massage with your fingers, tennis ball, golf ball, lacrosse ball, anything that works for you. It's always good to do self-massage if that's a problematic area for you. If it's just sore from working out, just give it a little time. That is normal. If you're doing new exercises that you've never done before, that is normal to feel sore a couple of days after your workout. That doesn't necessarily mean that you had a better workout than if you were not sore, but it's normal to have that. So let's go ahead and just finish with our final stretch. You all know that I love this one. I love to stretch, and of course, please check out my other videos. I can't remember what number we're on, but there's a lot of them there since the start of COVID. So there's strength training videos, cardio videos, yoga, meditation, mind-body videos. Plenty of things to choose from. Please check some of those out. Make sure that you are exercising in all the different ways. So if you want to get some cardio in your week, several days a week, you want to get strength training 2 to 3 days a week, and you want to get mind-body in as often as you can, because right now, and for the last year and a half, things have been so crazy and so stressful. So make sure that you're getting all those things in. And what I tell some of my clients to do, if they're having trouble getting their workouts in on their days that they don't see me, is that you need to schedule that as an appointment in your calendar. So for example, if your goal is to work out on Tuesday and Friday, put it in your calendar and treat it just like you would a doctor's appointment. Anything else, you don't skip it, you don't, get too busy to do it. You have it in your calendar. You're gonna do it barring, some kind of crisis, you're gonna do it. And that helps a lot, is to just make it that much of a priority that you're putting in your calendar and doing it. So again, check out some of those videos. If you have not already, please like and subscribe and follow on either YouTube or Facebook. Give it a thumbs up. It all helps the algorithms, and I'd love to have some new subscribers. So check out some of the stuff. And as always, please stay safe, stay hydrated, And thanks so much for hanging out with me today for the slightly different format. And again, I will, as soon as I can, get back to doing the longer videos. I've got a couple of issues, both with my schedule being very busy between work and family issues, and then I think my tablet is not going to hang on much longer, but I'm doing the best I can with it. I'll get videos out to you as much as possible. That's enough of the excuses. And thank you again for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.